today. And so with that, I will call our next presenter, Janet Robert. Janet, thank you for coming. Janet represents Democrats for Life. She is the president of the board of directors of Democrats for Life. Democrats for Life of America is an organization that represents the pro-life opinion that exists within our party. And so, Janet, we are happy you are here, and we look forward to your testimony.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. I would like to express my deep appreciation for the opportunity to speak today. I am Janet Robert, the President of Democrats for Life of America, representing pro-life Democratic voters from around the nation who are strong and loyal supporters of Democratic policies. We often are told that because we oppose abortion, we cannot be Democrats. Speaking here today sends a message that we as Democrats can express our opinion during an internal and important discussion over the language that will govern the party for the next 4 years. I am a lifelong Democrat activist based on values passed on from my parents. I'm also the owner and general manager of AM 950, the progressive talk station from Minnesota. In 2004, I launched AM 950 featuring Stephanie Miller, Ed Schultz, Tom Hartman, and many other progressive talkers. Democrats have varying views on abortion, ranging from legal in all circumstances to illegal in all circumstances, and every position in between. But we strongly support and share in the historic mission of the Democratic Party to provide economic, educational, and social opportunity for everyone. When we hear Gallup polls, which indicate a majority of Americans do not support overturning Roe v. Wade, it does not tell the whole story about Americans' attitudes. The public believes that abortion may be necessary in cases of rape, incest, or life of the mother. But after that, support for abortion substantially declines, and Americans, even a majority of Democrats, support appropriate restrictions. As we look at the Democratic Party platform that will express our position for the next 4 years, we should reflect the diversity of opinion on the issue of abortion. Republicans are continually telling people they are unwelcome because of who they are, what they believe, or where they were born. We are not that party. We can be better than Republicans by ensuring that our platform language makes clear we welcome, include, and support people regardless of race, color, sexual orientation, religious belief, or values, even if those values lead to differing opinions on abortion. This is an historic opportunity to pave a new path for a bigger Democratic Party, and one that can help us reestablish winning majorities in Congress. I'd like to refer you to the graph in the testimony that I submitted, which shows the relationship between the number of pro-life Democrats in the House, in the U.S. House, and the number of Democrats in the Democratic caucus. Over the years, as the number of pro-life Democrats have decreased, the party has lost its majority status. By appealing to a broader perspective on this issue, we can elect more Democrats and increase our party's ability to pass important and historic legislation. Pro-life Democrats helped pass the Family and Medical Leave Act, the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act, the Americans with Disabilities Act, the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act, and the Affordable Care Act. For example, Congressman Kathy Dahlkemper, a pro-life Democrat from Pennsylvania, who was successfully targeted and defeated in 2010 by the Republican Party because she voted for the Affordable Care Act, sponsored the amendment to the act that allows parents to keep their children on their policies till age 26. That was a great loss for the Democratic Party to lose Kathy Dahlkemper. We as a party should therefore focus on those positions that unite us, especially in swing states. We are proposing the following language be included in the Democratic Party platform, and I quote, "We respect the conscience of each American and recognize that members of our party have deeply held and sometimes differing positions on issues of personal conscience, like abortion and the death penalty. We recognize the diversity of views as a source of strength, and we welcome into our ranks all Americans who may hold differing positions on these and other issues." The second paragraph reflects how pro-life and pro-choice Democrats differ from Republicans. It reads, "However, we can find common ground. We believe that we can reduce the number of abortions because we are united in our support for policies that assist families who find themselves in crisis or unplanned pregnancies. We believe that women deserve to have a breadth of options available as they face pregnancy, including, among others, support and resources needed to handle the challenges of pregnancy, adoption, and parenthood, access to education, health care, child care, and appropriate child support. We envision a new day without financial or societal barriers to bringing a planned or unplanned pregnancy to term. The first paragraph of our proposed language was proposed in 1996 and supported by former President Clinton. It was included in 2 Democratic forms to reflect that we accept and encourage Democrats of all persuasions to be part of our mission and our Democratic family. It sends the message that all Democrats, regardless of their position on abortion, are welcome in our party. Earlier this year, in a letter to President Obama, a group of pro-life Democrats, including former President Jimmy Carter, former Congressman Ambassador Tony Hall, and others, supported our approach in writing, and I quote, "Democrats are people of many faiths. Some find abortion wholly immoral, and others find it acceptable only under limited circumstances. The essence of our position is to support the whole life of a human person so that we value, protect, and provide for not only the unborn child, but the pregnant mother, the father, and in fact our entire human family. To not have the platform acknowledge the presence of our whole life position is as mistaken as failing to grasp that being pro-life means striving for a government that enhances all life. Calls by Democrats to strengthen child care, provide a living or family wage, encourage and defend the expansion of health care services to all, and advocate for responsible land use, transportation, and environmental requirements are all pro-life policies." A full copy of the letters is in our submitted testimony. Again, I would like to thank the committee for this opportunity to be part of this discussion and reinforce that we are simply asking that the platform reflect the acceptance and acknowledgement of the contributions and commitments that we all share, regardless of our positions on abortion. In the spirit of Congressman Ellison's earlier remarks, regardless of your individual positions on abortion, we urge the committee, for the sake of all Democrats, to restore into our party's platform the important conscience language as reflected in the first paragraph. I also encourage you to strongly consider the second paragraph for inclusion into the party platform because it states the common ground that we as Democrats share of societal support for people in need. Thank you.
Jim?
Janet, thank you for coming and your testimony. We have a question from Congressman Frank.
Yeah, I'm very glad that you're here today. I think it helps us overcome an historic mistake when former Governor Casey in 1992 was forbidden to speak to the convention. That was a terrible idea, and I am proud to be one of those who's helping reverse that. I was in fact called by Kathy Dalkemper, a very valued former member. Barbara Lee and I served with her, and I was very pleased that you are testifying. I personally believe that that first paragraph certainly should be in. The second paragraph, I think, does get into areas where there would be majority disagreement, but there is one point which maybe we could phrase. People are young enough here, some of them, for me to recycle a remark I originally made 30 years ago, which was that from the standpoint of the Reagan administration, they believe that regarding the federal government, life began at conception, but it ended at birth. Namely, that once the children were born, there was no obligation whatsoever to provide the services. And I would think in that context, a paragraph stressing that no matter what their position is on that, Democrats do believe, and this is where the pro-life Democrats have in fact been generally very consistent and have even embarrassed some of the pro-life Republicans who will vote to ban abortion and then vote against any service that would be provided to parents who are in need. So I would hope we could do some language along that line saying, and we do note the commonality among Democrats on all sides of this issue who believe that once the children are here, there is this obligation. But I'm very pleased, Mr. Chairman, that we have set a very good example here, and I personally think that first paragraph ought to be in there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. Are there other questions? Yes.
Well, I too want to echo my appreciation for your testimony. I think it's wonderful that you are here and encouraging us to adopt these 2 paragraphs. One of the things that I have resented most about the Republican Party's approach to politics is their insistence that everybody agree to one set of values. And we are about accepting and including many. So I join Congressman in thanking you for your presence here today.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your being here and for your testimony, and we appreciate that. Our next presenter is Julie Gackenbach. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, Julie. If not, I apologize. Julie represents the National Park Hospitality Association and the National Association of Mutual Insurance Companies. The National Park Hospitality Association assists